Well, now that we've found our way through Gmail and discovered what all those little tiny symbols mean, or at least discovered that if we put our mouse over them, little menus are going to pop up in all sorts of places. So you might as well pour yourself a cup of coffee and have a go at it. But let's look under one of those spots and find where our contacts or our address book is. Looking here on the screen, right where it says Gmail, there's another little arrow. And that's where they've hidden contacts. I mentioned that was the #1 phone call I got, was where did they hide the contacts? Well, there they are. And it's going to open up, well, this happens to be my business account. There are probably 5,000 contacts listed here, all in alphabetical order. But the good thing is we can put them into little groups. So if I wanted to just add somebody, I would click on this little person with a plus sign. That makes some sense, doesn't it? A person with a plus sign?
Yes.
Okay, and I could type in the little box. Or I can click on any of these people and it will open up their contact file if I wanted to add more information. Like to this Al Descalzo, I might want to add his phone number, address, even his birthday. Okay? But another thing we can do with our contacts, which is very nice, is we can put them into little groups. And I have all of my groups listed here. This is a great way of having just a couple of your contacts. And then if you're sending an email, you can send an email, as we were doing in the send portion before, just to a group of people, not the whole list. People can belong to more than one group at a time, which is a nice feature. But I think the biggest, greatest feature of the Google Contacts is nowadays people, when they have a cell phone, their biggest question when they get a new cell phone is, will my contacts come with me? You remember when we switched from one phone to another and you used to have to sit there with the old phone and program?
Took hours.
Oh yeah, hours, days, months even. All of a sudden I'd say, I have to call my father, and I realize I don't have his phone number. And nowadays we don't even know anybody's phone number because everything is with you. Well, if you're switching cell phones now, you don't even have to worry about switching the contacts from one phone to another. The best thing you can do is have all of your contacts here on Google Contacts. Now, you could take your cell phone and simply download all of those contacts to Google. Depending upon your cell phone, there are different directions. And if you go to technicallyspeakingtv.com, we have directions for iPhones or Androids, how you can get your contacts from the phone so that they go with your Google contacts. The technical word for that is sync, S-Y-N-C. That means that you're putting them together in computer
Syncopation.
Syncopation. So you have your contacts on your phone, you sync them with Google, and then you buy a new phone, and you tell this new phone, I want to use those contacts. And they all just appear. Now, you and I do this because we make sure that our two phones have the same contacts. Right. So if you happen to drop one of the children off at a friend's house and you save their address to the phone, my phone will instantly get that contact.
Generally, that's working in reverse.
Meaning?
Meaning that you're the one who's programming this up and it winds up on my phone.
Well, that's true. That's true. Although, no, you have things on your phone that I'm glad to have gotten on my phone.
Occasionally.
You know, it helps. It helps. The other thing we share that we're going to do right now besides contacts is the calendar.
Absolutely. That's critical.
Absolutely. We used to have a calendar just, you know, on the refrigerator. And well, for one thing, it wasn't with you. So if you were out and somebody said, are you free next Thursday? You would have no idea. And even if you called me and said, are we free next Thursday? Unless I was standing in the kitchen looking at the calendar, it really wasn't going to help.
That's right.
And even if we carried around those little date books, do you remember we used to get those free date books from like the Hallmark store at Christmas or something? Even if you carried those around, there was no guarantee that what you wrote in your date book and what I wrote in my date book were actually matching in any way, shape, or form. We'd have family meetings on Sunday nights just to kind of
compare notes.
Compare notes.
Yeah.
And by then it could be too late. Well, if we look up here, whether we're on this contact screen or whether we're on the original Gmail screen, there's a button that says calendar. And if we just click on that calendar button, here's our calendar with all the boxes. We could look at it. This is a monthly view, a weekly view, a daily view. Let me pull up Here's our family calendar. How scary is that?
That's pretty scary.
Now, this calendar here, because we can have different calendars and layer them, which is nice. This is the Technically Speaking calendar. Much less scary than the family calendar.
Any other calendar is less scary than a family
So we'll start with
calendar.
this one. It's not so bad. So here we are. If I want to add an event to this calendar, it's as simple as just clicking on the box and a little box pops up. Well, I'm just going to type that today we are filming on Gmail, contacts, and calendars. Terrific. And there it is. And I see that tomorrow, by the way, for our viewers, we're going to be airing at 8:30 all about Windows 8. So that's real easy for us to add things to our calendar. If you want to add something that's going to happen over and over and over, let's say every Tuesday I wanted to remember that it was garbage day. I don't know, is garbage day Tuesday?
It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. I'm
Tuesday
doing
and
very
Friday.
well. Okay. So I would click here on Edit the Event, and I have a choice of telling it to repeat. And I could repeat it every single week on a Tuesday forever. And now when I hit done, you're going to see on the calendar that all the Tuesdays from that day on are all going to say garbage day. Even if I go to the next month after that, look at all those garbage days. That's really great, like when Connor has soccer practice every Thursday. I don't have to keep typing in soccer practice, soccer practice, soccer practice.
That's right. And if they ever change the garbage day from Tuesday to another day, you can eliminate it from that phone call.
I could. Let's say you told me on the 20th we will no longer be having garbage. I could click delete and I will say all following, meaning, there we go, I've stopped the garbage pickup effective on the 20th. I think that's a neat feature.
That is.
Now, if you do that, and instead of telling it to repeat every single week, if you tell it to repeat every year, essentially that's a birthday. So if I typed in, let's see, do you know our dog's birthday?
No. November something.
November 17th. November 17th is Shamrock's birthday. Well, I'll put it on our calendar so you won't forget. Shamrock's birthday. Now, I don't want to remember just this November 17th. I'm going to come here to repeat, and I want to repeat yearly.
Gives us plenty of chances to prepare a party.
Oh, come on, you love Shamrock as much as I do. Okay, so now we know that Shamrock's birthday is November 17th. And if I looked at a year from now on November 17th, I'm pretty sure that November would be completely clear except for Shamrock's birthday. Now, these calendars aren't just on the computer, they're on our cell phones. I have my little iPad here, and there's an app that opens up the whole calendar. So wherever we are, if you write it down, I get it. If I write it down, you get it. There's no excuses. Well, we have to still write it down.
Right.
The other thing that's nice is we can layer calendars, meaning I'm looking here at the Technically Speaking calendar. That's where I'm showing, well, Technically Speaking does not have garbage, so I better take that off before people start to wonder. All events. Garbage is gone. Okay. But looking back here at our family calendar, now all of this stuff that you see here is family stuff, but the green stuff, here I'll click it on and off, is actually my Technically Speaking stuff. That way it's overlaid with our family. Perhaps only on my phone I want to see both of those things. You don't need to be bothered with what I'm filming on any given day. Now you might add another calendar, in fact you did, called the BQCFL calendar here, and that was going to show up just your stuff. Here's a calendar called US Holidays, and if I turn off all these other calendars, I turned off our family, I'm going to turn off Technically Speaking, and now I'm left just with the holiday calendar. See, holidays, Technically Speaking, family. I don't think you have anything on this calendar this month. No, last month
No,
you did.
not right now.
Okay, so a lot of times our children's school, they have a Google Calendar also. So we can just sync their calendar so we can see not only who has soccer practice, but we can also see, is there a half day at school? When are the exams going to be? Things like that. It's a nice feature.
Absolutely.
You know, it's a lot better than just having it on the refrigerator.
No, it's much more convenient, and you can carry it around with you.
And
That's its greatest benefit, I think.
now, the other thing that this does is they'll also give you notifications. Have you noticed your phone beeping at you 10 minutes before an event is supposed to happen? Okay, you might think that's annoying.
I do.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But it's a reminder. Now, you could turn them off, by the way. So, for example, here, I'm supposed to be having lunch with Marla. Now, just in case I forget, I know that I'm going to get an email 10 minutes before and a pop-up 10 minutes before. Now, to be honest, 10 minutes is not enough. If I really forgot about that lunch, I can't even get there in 10 minutes. So I could change this to an email 60 minutes before. So this way I actually have a chance of making it to the lunch. But if it's something, let's say you put on the calendar that your favorite TV show is going to be on, well, a 5-minute warning might be plenty for something like that. But if it's something that you really have to travel to, it helps. The other thing you'll notice here is that we can change the colors of different events. So if some are more important than others, they can be in red. If they're less important, well, we'll keep them in gray or something like that. Okay? So I think all in all, they might have done a terrible job with all these icons and stuff, but it's still something that's worth having.
They've redeemed themselves.
So, if you don't already have a Google account, I certainly recommend you go over to google.com and sign up. It's free. You'll get free email, an address book that you can put on your cell phone, your iPad, switch around, and you can have a calendar that not only will you use as your place of putting all your events, but you can actually sync it with family members and make sure you always know what's going on. Thanks for joining us here at Technically Speaking.